Loretta Christensen.
Hi, I'm Loretta Christensen, and we're here today with a very lovely couple from Manhattan. They are the Oswalds, and it's not pertaining to the one that tried to kill our president years ago. This is Belinda and Mark Oswald, and they are from the opera. And you know, I'm just very interested in this because I find it so unusual that you play with the Mets. You know, I was always a Cardinal fan, so I don't really follow the Mets, but
You know, I almost became perhaps a Met pitcher. I used to throw junk pitches, for example.
oh, did you? So is that how they brought your music to the ballpark?
Oh, well, I've sung some national anthems too, but not to confuse the matter.
I think we're confused.
Are we talking about the Mets baseball team?
No. Metropolitan Opera House in New York.
Oh, excuse me. I was just somehow summertime, I was thinking about baseball. So anyway, well, that's very interesting. I know they have all kinds of events there. They have fashion things. They have lots of different events at the Metropolitan, don't they? Or is it just opera?
No, sometimes at Lincoln Center,
Oh,
they
that's
have
Lincoln
a big
Center.
fashion.
Oh. And that's not part of the Empire State Building, is it?
Oh.
No.
Okay, I was only in Manhattan once, and it was a quick trip. So anyway, well, now you tell me how you both got started in this because it's just such an interesting field.
Go ahead.
Well, I went to college for singing. My father and I sang together, and studied for 5 years, and then I had a big audition at the Metropolitan Opera, and I sang there for 15 years.
Well, how old were you when you did that?
I was one of the youngest singers at the Metropolitan Opera.
Oh, my
in terms
Lord.
of my debut. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
but he's still not telling us how old he was.
Well, I was 23 at the time, and I had met this beautiful one here to my right. Just
Is that how
before
you met?
Well, at a place at Brevard Music Center in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And we did Elixir of Love together. That's what it's called. And he was the baritone, I was the soprano, and we'll drink to that.
Yeah, so this is an elixir, is it not? This is an elixir,
Yes. That's
no?
wonderful.
Yes.
So then, was it love at first sight?
Yes, actually, love at first sound. I heard Mark sing before I ever met him. And then I met him, and that was it.
Well,
She was cast 1 week before the opening performance, learned the whole role in, well, it was English, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Usually don't sing it in English.
English.
You know. Right. And so I was pretty darn impressed. Plus, she, just have a look at her.
well, you're a lovely couple. I must say that about both of you. But you know, what was really interesting for me growing up is my experience with the opera was my grandpa Elmo would drive down to Tallahassee from Tennessee, and he'd pick me up for the summer and take me back there, and we would always go to the Grand Ole Opry in Tennessee.
Well, not quite opera, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Loretta, it's okay.
It's Loretta.
It's okay.
yeah, a bit of a different genre of music, Loretta, at the Opry as opposed to the opera.
Opera's country,
Oh, yeah.
and opera's woo! Yeah.
Ooh, well, that's lovely. Would you care to do something? Just a couple bars? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. I'm just amazed. Your voice, it just carries.
Sometimes.
Well, I am just amazed. What about you? I have to pee here in a moment. Oh, Lord.
She's having a moment.
Yeah, she is. Just give her time. Give her time.
Vapors.
Give her time.
Oh, don't get my fingernails. I didn't have time to do them, and they're just a mess. So just make sure you don't do a close-up on my fingernails. Oh, gosh, that was just stunning. You're stunning performers. You're just stunning. Well, let me see what other questions I wrote down here, because you got me all...
We call verklempt.
Yes, you are. Well, now, how do you like living in New York City, and how long have you been there?
Whew, we've been there
30
yeah,
years
30 years.
living in that metropolis with, not too far from the Empire State Building, also.
That's right.
2 miles away.
Now, I understand you have a little penthouse.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not a penthouse.
Well, you have a big balcony or something.
We have a nice terrace. It's a 1-bedroom, modest, but the terrace is quite lovely, and we're thankful to be able to get outside because New York is a concrete jungle.
Is it next to the Mets or the Met?
It's near the Metropolitan Opera.
Okay. Well, now, do they have those hot dogs at the opera like they do at the ballpark?
No.
If
no.
they did, they would charge $25, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they don't.
Well, actually, that leads me to another question. I was wondering about tickets to the opera there at the Met, as you call it. I was wondering, my Aunt Shirley left me a bunch of green stamps, S&H green stamps, and I didn't know if you could redeem those for tickets to the opera. Have you heard anything about that?
I remember hearing about those stamps, but honey, I don't think any place would take those anymore.
Really?
Especially
Well,
not
so they're useless? I've got stacks of them. Every time she'd come see me, she'd give me a book full of S&H green stamps that she'd licked and smacked onto the book. So those aren't worth
No, maybe you could get something on eBay for them. I don't know.
Oh, eBay. Ooh. Have you performed on eBay?
Not very often.
I don't think so, no.
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 Yeah.
No,
Can I get tickets on eBay?
You might be able to get tickets on eBay.
Okay.
Yeah.
When does your season start up?
Usually the end of September and goes through the middle of May.
Oh, wow. So they want it to get a little chilly there. I guess there's not a lot of people in town in the hot summertime.
Well, the American Ballet Theater comes in, ABT, and takes over those months.
I see.
Because they're skinny and thin and they can probably stand the heat.
Okay.
It's a little bit different, right? The summertime, skinny people and then the opera. I mean, the opera.
See, you're getting him confused now.
I mean the grand old people.
Yes.
No, opera's not dying. No, it's not dying.
No.
No.
So you're having a lot of young people
We're trying to get
discover?
more young
Oh, good.
people.
The arts, I'm just kind of upset with how they don't teach that much in school anymore.
It's true.
You're right. It's sad.
It's true.
Yeah. Thank God they have that Betsy DeVos in there, because I just think she's lovely. Betsy DeVos. Oh.
Let's not get into it. I keep politics out of it.
Okay. Well, now let me just ask one last question, then I'm going to kind of go on to something else. But are there lots of homosexuals in the opera? I'm a leading advocate against the LGBT community, and I was just wondering, it seems like you'd have a lot of homosexuals in the opera.
We do.
Oh
they're
my
very talented.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh yes.
oh.
Very artistic and creative.
And you're okay working with
Some
them?
of them are my very best friends.
Oh my.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just shocked to hear such a... Well, anyway, I guess it's kind of a good segue here. I was wondering about telling you my version of the Me Too movement. And I grew up, and yes, I've too experienced the Me Too movement, and I have a story that I'd like to share, but I decided to put it into operatic format.
Oh, how wonderful.
For your viewing and listening pleasure.
Fantastic.
And I actually think of it more as what about me movement, because there's a lot of women like myself that we get the Me Too movement, but we don't really feel like we fit in because we really believe that we need to be submissive to our husbands. We have those Southern values, and we just think that the man needs to run the household. And so to us, it's, that's why I thought I'd be a representation for them, and I'd call it the What About Me movement. What do you think of that?
Well, I think I'd have to see it to maybe understand what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, we can make that happen.
Yes.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
I met him in the lobby of a grand hotel. He bought me a libation, had much to tell. I'm invited to his room with a city view. I thought for a moment, well, I really didn't have much to do. I followed him down the hall, elevator to the top. He opened double doors and then he suddenly flopped on the lavish bed that was turned down for the night. I thought to myself, I hope I must not fight. I want only to converse about my life.
She wants only to converse about her life.
Then all of a sudden he dropped his woolen pant. I looked right down and I knew I took a chance.
He exposed
his tallywhacker.
Say what?
His tallywhacker.
Say what?
His tallywhacker. It was tiny and limp with the smell of hemp, but I didn't get high. Oh my, oh my. I knew right then my life would never be the same. Every time I saw a wiener,
it would be so lame.
I elegantly grabbed my dutifully purse. I headed for the door. I certainly didn't want him to view me as a whore. As soon as I lunged for the matte golden handle, I knew that I told I'd be caught up in a scandal. A scandal. Scandal. A scandal. So I kept it to myself for several years, thinking that an ugly wiener and shedding many tears. How can I handle this? I will not be dismissed. I will not play it out. I may be a sensuous lady, but I do not give it out. And if he doesn't like it, he can simply pout. He can pout. He can pout. He can pout. I'm really quite exhausted. I'm feeling worn out. I feel I've torn told you everything that this is all about. What about me? I will shout it out. What about me? What about me?
Brava.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not bad, Loretta.
Oh,
So that was an absolutely well-trained mezzo-soprano sound with harmonies, even lower bass lines. How does one do that as a woman such as yourself?
Wonderful. It's making me moist. I'm so excited. Whew. Well, thank you. That coming from an opera coach, I just don't know what to say. I think I'm going to show up at your doorstep in Manhattan. At the Met.
well, maybe try it out in a small theater somewhere.
The Bronx.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll settle for the Bronx then.
What the hell are you doing here, Loretta?
Well, Aunt Shirley, that's not very nice to say to me. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, Garyk invited me over to dinner. You're not supposed to be here.
Why are you always so mean to me?
I'm not mean to you, Loretta. You just really ought to go back to Florida where you belong. Garyk doesn't want you here.
That's not nice. I'm not ready to go back to Tallahassee.
Well, you ought to go.
Oh, shut up.
Go to yourself.
Aunt Shirley's always been so mean to me, and I just can't stand it. That's why I want to move away from all the family that treats me like this in Tallahassee. I don't have very good memories of it.
What about me? I will shout it out.
I think I saw some lesbians. Oh, I did. Oh, I don't know if it works through the TV screen, but I'm going to give it a shot.
You want to do it again?